Okay, today we're going to talk about making some pinwheel hair bows. There's a few ways you can do it. You could do it free-handed or you can use a template. You can get one of these, this is a no bow, no go template. They carry these at Ribbons and Bow Oh My and the Hair Bow Center. The ones on each side are different sizes. One of them, the sizes are even, and the other one, they're like half. So like on the other side, it would be a 4.5 instead of a 4. I've bought some from both. And you can find kits online and other places. You know, that's not the only place that carries them. That's just where I happen to get mine. You can also cut out and make your own. This is like cardstock craft paper. You can make it even like out of a cereal box or something like that. I'm going to first show you how to make one free-handed. That's how I learned. You know, it's fast, it's easy. The benefit of using the templates are that your bows are uniform. They're all the same size. So if you're like mass producing them or doing like a craft show and you want them all to look exactly alike, this you know, works out good for that. The disadvantage of using these over the freestyle, I think they tend to make a flatter bow, and I don't really like flat bows, but you know, some people do. So basically you want, say you want your bow to be 4 inches wide. You want your lengths of ribbon to be a little bit more than 4, because when you start scrunching them together, it takes up a little bit of space, but not a lot over 4. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to not measure. Okay, so say I want a bow about that wide. I would just keep looping over until I had enough to make 2 loops on each side. So that looks about right. So I'm just going to cut that off. Now, so you fold one of them over, and then you fold it over again. Hold on to it, and then you loop it under and then back over. Okay, and then when you get it down like this, you can leave them close together, or you can kind of spread them out. You know, sometimes once I get it spread out how I want it, I'll set something. Say I need to go, ooh, I forgot my string. I can just kind of set something on there to hold it in place. Some people use those big giant alligator clips that they carry at Sally's. I've tried them before. To me, they're more trouble than they're worth, but they do work for some people. So to make the bow, I'm gonna, you know, pinch it up the middle, accordion style. Some people sew theirs. I'm just gonna tie it. Now, I tend to put 2 pinches in per strip of ribbon, but, you know, you may put more or less in yours. You can kind of just play around and see what you like best. Now, I'm going to wrap this around here and tie this off. Before I tie it off, I'm going to make sure that it's even, and, you know, because sometimes you'll just pinch one of these up and you're like, oh, that don't look very good. And then you can kind of play around with it. Okay, I like how that looks. So I'm going to tie it off. Now I can cut these slanted, or I can make, you know, the V-cuts in it. Whichever one I like the best. Or I guess whichever one the customer likes best. And then you're just going to seal it. I use a lighter because it's handy, it's easier. Just make sure you use 100% polyester ribbon. If your ribbon has like a natural fiber like cotton in it, when you do this it can catch on fire, and that is not a good thing. So, got my tail a little bit shorter than I wanted to, so I can just kind of pull that out some. Anyway, that's a free-handed one. And I could put a flat center, or I could put a knotted center in here, just whichever one I'd rather have. To do the knotted center, you just kind of take a piece of ribbon and just basically tie it in a knot. Pull it tight. Leave some tails so you got something to glue around it. And you would just glue it on each side. Okay, now I'll show you how to make one with the template. And these will work basically the same way. The good thing about this is you could take some alligator clips and you can pinch it on there, and then you could put a piece of string in the middle and then tie it. If you're not very good at the accordion styles, I really don't deal with that. What I do is I slide it off the template, but you know, until you get more experienced, you would just kind of take these, you take these clips and hold it on there. You know, you could put one on each side. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap it around this thing like that. I'll show you again. So you're going to start, go under, over, under, over. And then you're going to cut that off. And then you'll slide it off there while you're holding it, or clip it on there, whichever you prefer. Now I pinched it up accordion style, and I'm going to wrap a string around it and tie it. Pull that tight. You see how this bow is a whole lot more uniform than the one I did free-handed. It is flatter, but sometimes you can take and kind of try to puff those up a little bit. You would just tie it off and then make your ends and put your middle in. So it would work the same way with this homemade template. You know, you could just wrap it around and then slide it off. And then fold it up, and you got your bow. Now, one other way you could do this is kind of just hold it, get it as long as you want it, and then, okay, you got this one folded over, and then loop it around, and loop it around. So, you see how those are layered up? Okay. You just want to make sure that the end of one ribbon's on one side and the other end's on another side. And then what you would do is cut it off there. And then you can just take it down here and spread it out. You want to like kind of do it, hold on to the bottom and the top while you slide. And then you can pinch it up. And then you tie it off. You see? That's a way of making a really uniformed one if you don't have access to a template. I just recommend you using all the different ways you can make one and see which way works best for you.